everyone, so this is going to be an interlude on Nicola Bully. I think it's part 4 interlude. As you know, I've already done part 7 and you've probably heard it a few times. I was going to upload it this week, but I'm actually going to put a poll on my community page. If you're a subscriber, I'd love for you to vote on it. I thought it'd be interesting to see how many of us think it's an accident, think it's manslaughter, think it's a murder, think it's abduction and an accident, think it was a confrontation and a push and then drowning, whatever. So I'll put a poll, and then if it's none of what I've put up as possible things that I think people are thinking of, you can put in the comments what your take is on it. But what your take is on it is not like a story. It's like one of the things, just like the end of it. And then we can share that, and then possibly what do you think the motive is. So for example, it might just be, I've got an essence stick and it's kind of strong. I'm going to put it out in a moment, but it is definitely strong. Just kind of smudging the area. I'm going to smudge the card. So, what did I want to say? Yeah. If it's just a motive, you know, for example, Nicola was going to leave and the relationship was just, you know, sometimes relationships just go through that bad time. And so that's the reason. But if you think it's like the relationship going through a bad time and third parties, like cheating or, you know, affairs or whatever it is, then you'd select affairs, not, you can't select 2 on the poll, so you'd select affairs. And I would just understand that, you know, it's third party, whether it's one individual having their own issues, or it is issues in the relationship and someone else having the third party engagement, because at the end, whoever knows there's going to be an issue. So I thought that would be interesting, and then we can see what the polls bring up. And part 7 then will be up in terms of what I believe happened. It's not changed since I've recorded it. I still stick to it and I feel confident when I've said it. I also find it interesting that I said 7 is a very significant number at the beginning of this case, and it came to part 7 where I felt I really needed to voice everything. So that's interesting. Some of you might have thought, oh, she's looking into the room. No, I just thought I saw a spot on the camera. This is getting kind of too choky, so I'm just going to thingy the cards. In terms of the content on the channel, I'm also going to put up a little thing on the community page, but I'm thinking to do, there's Britney Spears coming up, Nicola Bully, Maddie obviously, Maddie, poor girl. I can really see why Spirit's asked me to do these 2 cases in particular, because you can't say that I'm not saying that they're the most horrific cases, but so for example, the case of Alex Murdoch and the Idaho, there's like quite a few of those things. So, but it seems to be these 2, and there's Sinead and Jill Dando. I feel Jill Dando is going to be complex. I don't know if it's my resistance to tap in initially, because I felt like this is I don't like the energy of it, but I think it's one of 2 things, to be honest with you, without me even channeling. So I'm going to pull cards on it initially, and then see what we get through the cards. But I think it's going to be complex to read on, and that will then maybe need me to tune in for a few weeks in terms of maybe seeing if I can channel through a bit from Jill, okay, Jill Dando. I also, September, which includes worldly predictions, I will do that, and I will also probably do a follow-up. So if you enjoy that, let me know. Your sign readings that are up, monthly readings, and then every 7 to 10 days, every week, there's a reading for your signs is coming up as well. Now, I noticed that a lot of people just like the attraction to gain subscribers is around juicy gossip or clickbait. So for example, if I put a title of Nicola Bulley, E. White and PA, the truth about their affair, the truth about was they having an affair, like a clickbait title, I'd probably get a lot of people watching and subscribing. But I just find that very disrespectful to a soul. And I have had comments of like people saying, let it go. And people saying that, or someone said they're sending the family or letting the family know. And I'm just thinking, you know, I'm sure there's viewers with millions, or not millions, hundreds, thousands of subscribers that are, you know, really looking into more gossipy stuff. And when you see part 7, I'm not letting it go. I'm not letting it go. So yeah, I want to see what we think together. I mean, we're all entitled to our own opinions. So vote on the poll. And then I'll also share the poll, but probably I'll take a glimpse of the poll, maybe do a little short, or share it on part 8 or an interlude after part 7 in terms of what has been coming through. Okay. And that doesn't mean anyone has to change their mind after my part 7. My part 7 might not be what you want to hear. It might not be juicy enough. It might be that you're still standing by your own intuition, your own sort of take on it from viewing maybe other psychic readings, from maybe viewing crime documentaries, whatever, okay? And you're entitled to that. And it doesn't mean, I don't think if, you know, if you're a subscriber and we don't have the same opinion on something, that it means that you should unfollow, or I should not accept, you know, I shouldn't like you as a subscriber. I think it's actually healthy to have engagement of views in a constructive way. And that's what I think is important. So yeah, those polls will be going up. I think it was the 31st of August. I don't know why I feel really sad. As you can tell. Wow. I didn't even expect that. But maybe it ties in with a family member's birthday as well, who's passed away around the same dates. But I think that's what it is actually. Not making sense why I just got a bit upset about it. But when I heard the news of Dodi Muhammad al-Fayed, I think he passed on the 31st of August, which I think the 30th was it? What date was it in August of Diana's and Dodi's death? Very close. I think it was the 30th. And yeah, I think the upsetness was that I just got as well. The emotional upset was probably losing someone years ago. That was on, that birthday was at the end of August as well. So I think that's what's really just turned emotion. But I feel a deep sadness. And so I'm thinking to doing a little bit of a, probably it'll be a 10-minute video on that for Muhammad al-Fayed, because it stuck to me. But I also think, if I'm going to tell you what I think, not that I think there's something fishy about his death, but like what he might have done after passing. I'm not going to channel, like I said, I believe that souls need to go through a journey of healing before they get channeled, and that's why I'm probably going to do a tapping into sort of Sinead O'Connor with pulling the cards, and then if I feel her coming through, like the beginning when she passed, I felt her very strongly. I'm starting to get that when people pass straight away, I still feel them quite, I get them in my energy quite strongly, and I don't read on it because I think it's still them not de-anchored. And this is something I raise in also Nicola Bulley's case, where I feel like in terms of her passing, and also just like, is she fully alive, or was the resistance to leave, maybe because of her kids or whatever, whatever the outcome that I mentioned, part 7. So September predictions, including some wealth predictions, and then if you enjoy that, I can do that regularly, and maybe I can pull tarot cards on any questions you have. And then, like I said, Muhammad Al-Fayed, Britney Spears part 1 energy is coming up. There will be a tapping into Sinead O'Connor, part 7 in Nicola Bulley. There will be a part 9 for Maddie, where I give you my 2 cents on it. Jill Dando I'll try and tap into. But I also need to make sure I'm feeling confident about it. And I don't have tarot cards of crime, which a lot of tarot readers do. They have the crime cards where it says murder, abducted stuff. So it's very easy for them to read on the cards. I just tend to go with my, if you notice when I'm reading solely on the cards, I take more time. If I'm just tapping into my psychic abilities, I'm on the go. And sometimes you can see that in even the sign readings, where I'm just like saying stuff and the card will come out. As I'm saying stuff, that card will come out. So yeah, it'd be interesting to know what you do want to see more content on the channel. Obviously, if you are following me for gossip stuff, I've noticed that I've lost a few subscribers, so maybe that's because it's not, past few days it's been too not gossipy, but I'm not going to read on stuff to make gossip and get followers, because I think that's disrespectful of a spirit. Like, I know there's probably a lot of conspiracy theories about stuff. There will be a bit of an update on Hawaii, because I'll do a little message on that actually. So today, that's a little bit about the channel and the poll we're going to do for Nicola Bulley. There is a card that haunts me in part 7, and you will see as soon as I start reading that I'm, by the way, when I'm serious in reading, don't just take that normal, right? Don't think, don't take it on. And that's why sometimes I ring the bell. But it's because I'm dealing with souls and I feel strongly. It's not only just clear cognizance. It's actually clear knowing, and if I'm sat quietly, then seeing. But there's the feeling side of it. So, like I said, I can feel spirit. So sometimes, in the last one, Nicola Bulley, I think I said in the last one before, I said sometimes I might ask Nicola quietly, are you going to answer this? And it would be possibly a no. Firstly, the reason I asked that is because I already felt like, I don't know if this is going to be a jokey answer, but I was feeling it, and sometimes that's her coming through that way, and that's why I might smile, or have that little thing with her. Today I feel like a bit of heartbreak. Before I started this, I was thinking, can I tap into her energy? But I said to her, I'm going to talk about psychic debris, and it's a card that came up in part 1. It's not a card, it's an element that was part of a card in part 1, and since then I've been wanting to pull cards on it. And the reason I smile is because there's 2 elements of this. Now, psychic debris can be where there's emotional issues, health issues, negative issues, just debris around you. And when I saw that card, I was thinking interesting. And I think I said at the time, was a psychic that found it, because I wasn't aware. And the other thing about this psychic, I think he's got a lot of, I think he has, because I know that apparently he posted on his Twitter that he found Nicola's body floating in the reeds. Then didn't he change it and say floating down the river? And so I think he's just kind of just gone into a bit more detail initially, or he's panicked. Now, when you're reporting these things, and then, you know, it can go, and this is what I'm going to go into my world prediction as well, it can go either way. And so if he's had backlash, I think sometimes what we don't see is that when someone is on social media or delivering, it's important to make sure that they speak to you. And if you're into like juicy topics or clickbait and stuff like that, and you're into different elements, because your energy will change as well, or different readers, that's really good as well, because sometimes you want some juice, sometimes you want a healing aspect, sometimes you just want downright out truth, or sometimes you might be like, you know, I trust this reader, I trust what they say, but I also like this reader or this documenter or this investigator or this podcast because I just fancy some juice. And that's totally okay as well, because you'll trust some and the others you'll be like, oh, they've given me a different thinking, but I don't know if I can trust. I'm going to go over to this one. And that's also good, because we like to have a laugh. It's just like having a laugh and being serious, just like speaking or having a coffee with your mates on, you know, just random topics of, did you hear about this? And then there's different theories and thoughts around it, and then also factual stuff. So that's also okay. But I can't lie and disrespect a soul just to make up toxic stuff. That doesn't mean that after part 7 I'm not going to read. I've already pulled some cards on a couple of the environments, which was after part 7. I'm going to share, I think I've pulled a couple of cards on the environments. I'm going to share that, and then I do want to take your questions. So if your question is like, can you tell me about, I'm going to try not to say what I've probably put in, can you tell me about the 10th? What was the energies on the 10th, the welfare call? And I think there's still a lot of confusion there. The partner seems to still be getting blamed for that call, but apparently it was a relative who was present who made the call as well. And I think they both would have agreed to make the call. I'm not saying that they were both in it together for a conspiracy reason or affair or whatever, but I just think certain things need to be straightened out. So with the psychic debris, it's really, like I said, it's really about getting rid of stuff that could be causing you emotional attachment or not. And I can't even remember what number the card is, so this is going to be very interesting. But if I can find it, it'll be interesting to tap into it. Well, then when I was thinking about it, I was like, the debris is Nicola's body found in the water, found by the psychic. So I'm going to pull some cards on that and see if, and I can tell you if Nicola comes through with the cards or not. I've just got here. But she does feel sad, yes. Crystal Kingdom. Beautiful card. Is it focusing enough? Can you see it? You can see it like that. Interesting. Look at her belly area, and you know the Empress card we keep getting. Very interesting. Very interesting. I wonder if she was or she had a miscarriage. So I'm going to pull some cards on this. and see what we get with it. And then also, like I said, if you've got questions, put them in. I'll do a part based on subscriber questions. I'd appreciate if you are a subscriber so that I can take up your question. If you're not, I welcome you to subscribe to support the channel and support the readings. With the polls as well, do share, tag or at people so that we can also see as a collective what we get. Crystal Kingdom, number 10. 10 is also the end. It's the end of the chapter. It's slowing down. It's about materialism and getting rid of that. I find it extremely interesting that she's holding her stomach and her stomach clearly has life in it. Or, you know, it is round like pregnancy. There's water underneath this rock of hers. Not ask the question, I need to. That was the breakthrough card. Okay, so spirit guides or Nicola, please tell me about the psychic debris. It's interesting, did Nicola have brown hair at one point? Because when I saw this, I was like, this is, you know, obviously seeing that it's imagining hair. But then, as I've been talking to you, I was like, but Nicola has brown hair. But it's not, she has blonde hair. So it's interesting that I came through. Four of Pentacles, attaching, staying stuck in one place. Like I said, the word materialism. That's also, that is similar to the psychic debris, isn't it? What I mentioned, you know, being stuck in sort of emotional or physical health and stuff. That to me can also say being stuck in the reeds. I smile because one of the questions to Nicola all this time since part 1 is like, is a psychic debris like your body that he found? The Queen of Pentacles then comes up, which I feel in this essence is actually Nicola being seen as, you know, the mother that has not necessarily has it all together, and is stable and abundant. Feel like the Seven of Cups wants to come out. Knight of Wands. Oh, I've got a call, 1 second. Sorry guys. So Knight of Wands, we've had a lot of this Knight of Wands. The forward movement, the action towards Nicola. The Four of Wands, coming from home life. The movement forward. This can also be the car. The Ace of Cups is also about, you know, the home life, where your heart is, you know, where your heart is, where your heart lies. I think this was that they were going to get married. And it, you know, at some stage it was going really, really well and they were going to get married. It was it was passionate, there was stability, they were going to get married and move forward. Having that happy family life. These are really, really good cards. But then, multiple, not seeing things clearly, and I think this for me types ties in with the psychic debris energy. Not seeing clearly, being delusioned, rose-tinted glasses. And the heartbreak that comes after it. I think this is really tells a story, doesn't it? It tells us exactly what is kind of the scenario of what I've been saying. With the Seven of Cups, I really feel it's the psychic debris. It's the rose-tinted glasses. It's no longer seeing clearly what is your focus? What is your intention? What are you thinking? Some of these cups are abundant and full of love. Some of these cups, there's a negative, like some of them could have, one of them could have, for example, the devil in it, one of it could have the snake in it, one could have an angel in it, one could have money in it, one could have love in it. And it's kind of like no longer seeing that initial thing of, there's a word that I want to say, it's not coming out, purity of love and what was happening, what was initially felt, the unity of what was initially felt in this home, family, marriage, partnership, life, that was leading to a marriage. Interesting also, there's 2 kids there only. And it just also, this is the rose-tinted glasses of layers of where I said people didn't see everything exactly of what she would have felt in her inner self. And I go into this again in part 7, seeing that she had it all together. And ultimately this all together has led to heartbreak. And then we've got here the Emperor. And the Wheel of Fortune is taking that opportunity. I feel like this is kind of like someone sits on their throne there. The Emperor's come up in the readings as well. So it's tying in with that energy. You have to check the readings. The Wheel of Fortune, when the cycle closes, a new cycle begins. After the heartbreak. And this is where it started all melting down. So you can't say it wasn't a good relationship from the beginning. I know some people will say that, but I think it was. I think it was. Because then drama, conflict started happening, competition. And this is where you look back at fond memories, but you're not there, and you need to try and become your soul's best friend, but also looking after your inner child while you look after your external world as well. It also, I feel there was a bit of nostalgia on how the relationship was in the past, and maybe some past relationships, and maybe should I make different choices. How can I move forward with 2 kids? Yeah, how can I move forward with 2 kids? Page and page. Choices that I need to make around this loving relationship, around the communication around this relationship, the communication I need to make towards the kids. I also feel like weighing up, I'm going into reading 7. Part 5, Five of Swords, is about being defensive. Do I always need to be on the defense? Is this right? Is this a healthy balance of a relationship? That there's drama, there's conflict, we're not aligned anymore. The card I pulled out, the Judgment card, making that fair judgment, seeing things clearly, requiring the inner strength. This is telling like a story. I think I've got about, how many cards I've got here? Probably nearly going on to 20, I think I've mentioned. Prioritizing and looking at how can I juggle things? How am I going to do this with the inner strength? The intuition kicking in. Going to the river for a walk. Remember from day one I said that river was, her walk was her daily download. It was the breakaway. I think she got downloads from it. Look at that Temperance card, definitely. Where she felt more grounded in nature. Being able to see things clearly and knowing she needed to walk away for that change. Walk away from who? I'm going to pull more cards, but I feel that tells the story beautifully. Just channeling and the cards are coming out with me. So synchronicity. Nine of Cups. Becoming my own provider. Becoming the entrepreneur of my life. You know, what I need to do to set myself up. But in the end, when I decided to take this step from this person came into soul alignment of being sort of gifted from the universe, and I was laid to rest. Any more cards? Nothing comes out, I'm not going to pull more. I felt like at the King of Swords, should I? Justice. Justice, karmic balance. Is this justice needs to be served? Justice of coming out. Being the King of Pentacles, having the abundance, the money. Remember, she started off as the Queen of Pentacles. The Knight of Cups. I think I'm going to stop there. The Knight of Cups. Could be where, you know, things are moving forward for one party now. What is hidden? What is hidden about this King of Pentacles? Can you remember there's a King of Pentacles that I said I want to pin down as well? Not just in an energy of what we get here. This is what's hidden. Got two energies here of what I'm reading. The King of Pentacles, the person part 7 I bring up. And this is the energy of going from justice needs to be served, but the justice that was given was someone became the King of Coins. They received the offering. Well, there's a lot of hidden here. What's hidden is the betrayal, the ending of what actually happened. Could also be hidden of like, I don't want to go down different, like new people coming into equation. But yeah, the betrayal, the ending of Nicola's life. I think this is a great part, actually. Look out for part 7. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you've got any questions. I won't ask them before part 7. It'll be in the next part. I also won't be changing part 7 because I've processed it. It's just about putting it up. And yeah, look out for the other content. Look out for the votes on the community page as well. And I will see you in our next reading, beautiful souls. I hope you're well. And I hope you enjoyed this impromptu. I definitely feel like it was a lovely story. We didn't really get into the psychic, but that's the other thing, you know, like if the body was seen floating down the river, it's not going to be floating up and down that bloody river 23 days. Nothing is clear. Actually, while I'm here, there's a card that I said I would mention. In the last part, I believe. Sorry, I'm just putting these in random places so that when I shuffle, it's double shuffled, it's not just on top. And I need to cleanse them before clients reading. I definitely think Nicola at some stage, something about pregnancy. Looking for a particular card. Looking for the moon card. Star card is very significant in part 7. Look out for that. What strikes me in this is that most of the readings didn't have the heartbreak card. We just had it here, and I think we've had it in one other card as well. So here's the moon card. Now if I asked you, those 2 dogs, or wolves, whatever, that are at the moon, one is here, one is here. Can you see the colours of them? Like, are they black and white as in the same black and white? Are they black and white? Is it clear as day? So why did the white fluffy dog suddenly turn into a black, not so fluffy dog when a news channel apparently had to be at the wire and at the same time had seen the man who was initially reported to have a white fluffy dog suddenly has a black, not so fluffy dog, and is the person that only came forward to have seen Nicola? How can that be so construed? And then also that whole setup, oh, hello, sir, I know you was here yesterday. So you're telling me behind the scenes it wasn't like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. You're going to walk down the river like you normally do, just be natural. And we're just here because of the case, and we're going to stop you. And you're going to be like, say what you have to say. But yes, we've just caught you as you're doing your normal daily walk. It didn't have to be that whole setup. Like, it was literally a setup. Like, oh, we're just here looking at what happened. Oh, it's the man that had the white fluffy dog, but now he has a black, not so fluffy dog with him. And we just happened to catch him at the right time. It didn't have to go that way. When that kind of happens, you know, and look out for the September predictions, I mentioned this. You know that whoever's delivering is losing control and is trying to gain back control. I'm not saying in terms of anything, I'm just saying is losing, even if it's a truth or a lie, right? Is trying to lose, is lost control of the public in this scenario, standing by what is being stated or in belief or in trust when things like that happen. I think this is a beautiful read. I think it really sums up everything. Part 7 will go into a bit more detail. And I hope you enjoyed it, everyone. Hope you have a lovely day. Look out for the predictions. Let me know if you also want them regularly. And I'm going to see you in our next reading, next video, whichever you tap into, your signs, whatever it is. Take care and bye for now.